Hey guys, today I'm sharing my birthday haul. I have some art supplies as well as some journaling slash planner supplies, and going forward I do want to make more journaling videos. I do love my Hobonichi, I love my journals, diaries, planners. I have a whole system, so I think I'll also make a video of my journaling ecosystem, Techo Kaigi, or whatever it is called these days. So I think I'll make one of those while I await my Hobonichi order, because that haul is still coming, but it hasn't even, I don't know, it's probably not shipping anytime soon, and there is a whole story behind that, so that's going to be a while. Anyways, today's my birthday. These are some supplies I've bought over the past few months and did not open them. I saved them for my birthday. The reason I buy them early is so that I can get them when I find good sales and stuff, or like maybe, you know, an eBay auction or whatever. Some basic stuff. This and this huge one are actually part of an eBay auction that came with paint that I'm saving for a different gift for later. See, there's like one already cut, and I think a couple sheets are missing, but that was described in the auction, so that was fine. These were just kind of freebies included with the paint. I don't know if the person who was selling it knew the worth and the value of something like this. They described it as black watercolor paper. And I was like, oh, well, it's not black, but I mean, okay. So this was just kind of thrown in with the paint as a freebie. And the paint is M-Gram because I tried the M-Gram paints recently just from like a little sampler type palette, and I kind of fell in love with them. I think they're amazing. So I'm slowly building up a collection, and then down the road, when I have enough put together from sales and auctions and whatever else for good deals, then that will be a gift for an upcoming down the road type of occurrence. But these I'm going to start using now. There's no point, you know, saving this for later. What else? Oh, I've been trying, I already opened it and started using it, but I've been trying to use my fountain. I had the Lamy that I got for a birthday haul like a couple of years ago maybe, that I hadn't really been using, but then I started using it and I bought ink for it. Before I was using waterproof ink and it wasn't working well, but when I tried fountain pen ink, which is different, I think it's dye based, whereas the other ink was like pigment based, so it clogs the pen and doesn't work well. But the dye-based ink works really well. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. So I decided to try this one. This was on Amazon for less than $10. It's the Pilot Kakuno, and this is the fine nib. And on jet pens, you can get these, well, other colors, because I don't know that they have the specific color anymore on jet pens, but you can get them for like $12.50. So they're really cheap. This is kind of like the introductory fountain pen, like it's almost for kids. But you can't see it, but there's like a little smiley face on there. So I think it's to teach little kids in Japan to write calligraphy with fountain pens. These are meant to be like cheap and durable, but this is great. And I would recommend that if you want to just try fountain pens and not spend too much money. Like I said, you can get these for less than $10 on Amazon. And then also for journaling, I got stamps. These are tarot stamps. The reason I got this is because I'm going to do a daily tarot card next year, and I already started this year. And I want to have the quick and easy stamp to kind of keep track of it in the monthly section. And then in the daily section, I can write about the card that I pulled. This was like $5 on Amazon. Here comes a complete splurge, which was ridiculous. I ordered this yesterday and it arrived today. So that was one benefit of paying the money, because obviously my Hobonichi order is not coming anytime soon. But if I had placed this notebook order with my original Hobonichi order, I would have saved a few dollars. It was definitely more of a splurge to buy it on Amazon, but the use for it only occurred to me like a few days ago, so I couldn't have placed that order back when I was placing the Hobonichi order. And then I like really wanted it. I would have been okay waiting till next year to get it, but because it is Moomin, it's collaboration. Once it's sold out, I don't think they're going to make any more of them, so I didn't want to risk it and end up not being able to get it at all. I'm like the type of person that likes to get a really good deal and find the best deals, so it kind of kills me if I know I could have gotten it cheaper but I didn't. So I would never do this ordinarily, but because it was going to be delivered on my birthday, I decided to go ahead and go for it, and because the use I have for it is very compelling. And I'm going to make a separate video where I share my planner stuff. Yeah, I'll talk more about that in that video. Okay, now comes the art stuff that I purchased. Let's do the less fun stuff first. Okay, and this might be a bit of a spoiler for a future video. I placed a bigger order with a Gallo and this was just kind of part of it. But I'm saving that order for a bigger gift like down the road, either for Christmas or for anniversary or something. And luckily I had this amazing coupon that they were doing, which was like a good amount off. It was like maybe 20% off, free shipping or something, and they were only running it for like 1 month. I was like, all right, I'll do it. Oh, it was also like if you are buying there for the first time ever. I'd never placed an order there before, but I've subscribed to them for a while. And I placed the order, and then about a month after that, the tariff thing started. So if I had not placed that order, I would not be able to place that order at this point because the tariffs would have made it impossible. So I was very happy I went ahead and placed this order when I did. So I decided to throw in some brushes. These were like very decently priced, so I was curious to check them out. So we have a round size 6, which is like my favorite size I've been using lately. This is the one I've been using from AliExpress. So this one's different. I think these are all faux, yeah, synthetic. And then a 6 flat. These are all watercolor brushes. And then this one I wanted to try too. It's a 30, probably 30 centimeters maybe. I'm not going to wait to gift those to myself because they're paintbrushes, so I might as well start using them. And then the main part of the birthday gift. This I had bought on Dick Blick some time ago when I placed a couple orders with Dick Blick a few months ago. And this was part of it, but I was saving them for my birthday, and they're all beam paints. For some reason, Dick Blick recently just started carrying them, and this gouache set was, for whatever reason, like half off from what it would be buying them separately or buying the watercolors instead of the gouache. So I don't know what was going on, but I went ahead and got that because I'd been wanting to try their gouache anyways. And then I have a package that I couldn't resist. I placed an order with Case for Making. And again, this was a couple months ago when they were having a sale. They were having a good sale. So I decided to go ahead and try their paints too because I've been really curious. This is their box. Let me see what they have. Okay, thanks for your order. Happy painting. So that's cute. I can add that to my planner. So let's take everything out. This is my main birthday gift because it's all the paint. Case for Making had these really cute Crow Canyon melamine, or I don't know, ceramic covered like tin trays, or I don't know what they're made of. Anyways, so they had them for a pretty decent price because on Amazon or online you can only buy them in like packs of 4, I think. So obviously that's going to be a lot more expensive. And actually their single ones were maybe like 50 cents more than if you divide by 4. So I thought it was a very fair price. So I wouldn't have been able to get them if I didn't get them from Case for Making because I don't need 4 of these. And I got this splatter, like ramekin. What is it called? Ramekin? Yeah, black marble. And then this is the small square solid white with black trim. And I thought this would make for a really cute paint mixing tray for like when I'm on the couch because I don't have to worry about, you know, a cat knocking it over and it breaking. And it's perfect for mixing watercolors. It's almost like ceramic, except it's not, so it's not going to get broken, but also it's small enough for me to have on the couch with me. So I thought that was perfect. This is actually smaller than I thought it would be. It's really, really cute though. It is so cute. I did get one of their paint palettes because they had these cute little travel palettes and you can design your own. You can pick what colors go in there, and I was very intentional and very specific about what colors I picked. And I love green, so I picked this gorgeous forest green type color. And let's see what it looks like. Hold on, kind of tight. Okay, that took me like a little while. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Oh, and they included the little, I didn't know if they would include it because you had to buy it for like separate money. So I'm glad they included a little, that has an interesting smell. So these are so cute. So I try to pick a well-rounded palette, but also a unique palette, like stuff I don't already have. Yeah, so I don't even know what to start with first. So let me see how this goes, how this works. I think you squeeze it. That's not going to be easy because I don't want to mess up my nails. But yeah, there you go. And this one's tighter than these ones. So zircon yellow. Oh my god, you guys don't even know how many times I went back and forth on trying to figure out which ones I was going to get. It took me like literally weeks. And actually it took me so long I couldn't decide that I missed the sale. Oh, and then I tried placing it last minute, but for some reason the coupon wasn't working. So I emailed Case for Making and they were like, you can place an order and we'll let you have the coupon because it wasn't working for you. And then I kept going back and forth for like another week or two trying to figure out what colors I wanted. And then I went ahead and placed the order and I was like, you know, I mean, if the coupon is, if it's too late, like I totally understand, you know, you can just cancel my order if like the coupon already, you know, quote unquote expired, but they let me have it. So that was really nice of them. I mean, it's really tight right now because they're in the papers. I'm just seeing what that is. Interesting. Yeah, so they're in the papers, so it's kind of tight. It's not going to be like that once they're out of the papers. I've seen a lot of reviews of Case for Making online. Some good, some not so good. But I thought it was cute. I thought they had like some interesting, unique colors. And I figured too, because I had seen some of the not so good reviews, that part of the issue was the colors that people picked. They picked colors that don't work with what they like to do with watercolors, and then they were complaining that they weren't fitting their art style or whatever, which it was a legitimate complaint because it didn't fit their art style. But that was because they chose colors that maybe they shouldn't have and they should have chosen other colors. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to try them out and we'll see. I try to do the best I could picking out the colors. And then now I'm curious to see these ones, so we're going to open them. I have like a wood cut with some beam paints in them, a little sampler almost of their watercolors, and I really like it. So I never had their paint stones. So these are the paint stones. We're gonna see their paint stones for the first time. And for their paint stones, they don't use any plastic. So that's why I'm so curious to see what they look like. A little free sample, strawberry watercolor. I already have that in that woodcut block. So let's see how big the paint stones are. And this is like a waxed canvas that they wrap it in, which is really cool. Okay, so it comes with these gouache paints and then one gold. It's so cute. And then it has the names like on the sides. Okay, this is actually a watercolor, but it's very opaque. And it's the Boreal. It's PG-17, and I saw somebody swatching it online and it looked super granulating. So I wanted to try it and see if that was the case. And then Wintry Night, I think. Wintry Night might be sparkly. No, it doesn't look sparkly. Oh yeah, mica. Okay. So these are the sparkly ones I wanted to kind of go together. And then that's a watercolor. And then Wild Salmon is also a really pretty sparkly one. So these are the three sparkly ones. This was another gouache, and this one didn't have enough pinks, so I went ahead and added that one. And then, oh, this is also watercolor, but it's also opaque, and I think very granulating. This is PR 101. So these both are watercolors, and these are all watercolors, but they're all sparkly. Sparkly watercolors, regular watercolors, granulating, hopefully, and gouache. Let me see if they fit in here, because Actually, because of the way they're designed, there's not really going to be a palette, I think, that fits them. So maybe I should put them all in. Maybe they'll all fit in here. If they all fit in here, that might be a good solution. I mean, I did want to use the tray for mixing, but this is actually kind of perfect. I think there's maybe space for one more, but not even. That's actually kind of nice. Or if I wanted to, how many of these would fit in here? I have other palettes kind of that I would consider trying. Or I could do that. No, that doesn't work good. Yeah, I might keep them in here, you know. This might be cute because this is a handmade little tray, so it might be like really nice. Okay, so I want to try these out, and I obviously want to try these out. Oh my gosh, this is so adorable, and you can feel the splatters because it's hand splattered, so each one is unique. You can feel it, they're like raised. You can use it as like a little water dish, or I don't really know what I would use it for, but it's so cute. All right. Anywho's, I don't want to get confused. I don't even know which one I want to try first. Let me, yeah, oh, you know what? Because now I can spray them in here like really easily because they are in this metal thing. So this might be the best way to go for the beam paints. I might keep them in here because if I put them in a wooden box that I think would fit, I would not be spraying the wooden boxes. So this might be the way to go. I'm going to go ahead and use watercolor paper for this. So we're going to do these, that one next. But first we're going to do these ones. And you know what? Let's try these brushes too. That's a good idea. Okay. Yeah. Okay. They need to be soaked for a little bit. Try this one too. I don't know. I might just keep it in here until I need it. It seems really nice. It's like very soft. So it's one of those you could just kind of activate the watercolors as it goes along. All right. Let's, oh my God, it's such a mess over here. All right, let's try this. So let's start with the watercolors first. I'm trying to add enough water and enough paint that if it does granulate, that really gives it that opportunity. And then the green, right? Yeah. It's the green. Yeah, I think it was just the two watercolors. Let's see how it granulates. Fingers crossed. That's literally the only reason I bought them. And let me show you guys how this works. So this is Mars Violet and Boreal. I don't even have to look it up, I remember. Let's try the salmon one. Been really curious. Oh yeah, because I had a coupon or something to Dick Blick, and these were like on sale with the coupon. So I got like a really good deal on all of them. Much better actually than buying from Beam Paints directly. It's so nice. Ooh. I like these brushes too. They're very soft. Now I'm going to have all this glitter, well, mica. Sustainable ethical mica. There you go. Now you can see it in the blue. You couldn't see it at first. Ooh, that's really pretty. It's got just a little bit of glitter and it's so dark and deep. PB15 and PY164. It's really pretty. And you can see some of the gold mica in there. Start with the white. I think I got some blue in there, but I guess that's okay. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to see it. Rose. It's very pale. But yeah, so the thing is that I have a lot of watercolors already that are like kind of natural based, but I didn't have any natural based gouache. So this kind of fits the bill. Oh, there we go. I don't know, can you guys see? That's some great granulation, and these are both very opaque, so they can work as gouache. That's beautiful. I love that color. I have that color in Roman Schmal, and it does the same thing in Roman Schmal, so I knew I would like it based on the swatch I saw online. Cream, yeah, that's what I thought. It looks like a buff titanium, but is it? PW6, yep, it's basically a buff titanium. Yeah, so if I'm working on like my book of shadows or whatever, I kind of want to use more natural based paints. So these sort of fit the bill for that. Robin's egg. It's a pretty color. PG7, PW6. I'm guessing that one over there is lilac. That's really pretty. These are very muted because most of them do have white added to them. I didn't even read the thing. I'm assuming this is lilac. And then this green is, what is this? Oh, this is milkweed. This kind of pale green. Gray Ultra. PB, that's got a whole bunch of stuff in it. PB29, PY43, PR101. So no white in this one. Ooh. But it's still really nice and opaque though. Oh, I love this one. Gray Ultra. Oh, okay. So like a gray with ultramarine. Oh, we can even, oh, it's really nice and opaque. We can cover that. Oh, I'm glad I got that because that really complements the whole thing. And I didn't need the basic colors like red, blue, whatever, because I have that wooden palette already from here that has all the basic colors. Oh, yeah. Oh, look, I have like an even amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this isn't actual like swatching, this is just to like really quickly see what the colors are. So kind of bear with me. All right, let's open them all up. Okay. They're taped down with like little gold thingies, and if they don't have their names written on the pan, I'm gonna have to label them all as well. But I'll edit that out, don't worry. Oh, yay, they're labeled. Okay, good. That's very good. So when I put them in my watercolor binder, I'm going to save these. And they don't say what pigments are in their proprietary blends like CFM smoke and stuff like that. Like CFM just means case for making blend. They don't really tell you what the pigments are, so you got to kind of like guess and do your best with it. It's like little candy wrappers. Black Currant, Red Lake. Okay, that's labeled too. And then we have to figure out the order. I already had the order figured out when I was ordering them, but I forget now because that was in the summer. Aren't you guys impressed with how patient I've been to not open any of this stuff? and letting it just kind of sit there for my birthday and for like Christmas and anniversary. I'm being really good. Trying not to order things just to order them. I'm trying to order things only like as gifts, because obviously for my birthday, well, not obviously, but I'm lucky enough that for my birthday, I do get money so I can buy art supplies and journaling supplies. I mean, the people in my life are not artsy, so they would never know what I already have, what I don't have, what I want. It just would not be possible for them to like purchase this stuff for me. So all they can do is support me in purchasing and choosing this stuff out for myself. Also, like I said, I'm super particular, first of all, about what supplies I get, what to spend money on, how much I'm spending, finding the best deals so that I like feel good about it and feel like I got a good deal. That kind of is all part of it. And just the shopping and like editing my shopping cart like 50 times, that's also like part of the fun. Oh. Yeah, so I said like for these ones, I did try to do practical colors, but also fun colors. So we'll see how they work. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the people who had issues with them. But some of the issues stemmed from them not liking certain colors. I did try to avoid the ones that they absolutely hated because that was very good to know. I try to like take all reviews into account, and I especially appreciate the negative ones because that doesn't necessarily mean I'm not going to try the product myself, but it kind of prepares me to adjust my expectations. Lavender Blue Lake and Cerulean. Okay. One looked like buff titanium, but not because they put other stuff in it. So we'll see how well I did for a rounded palette that can be used to mix colors too. I don't know, we'll see. And whether these colors even mix together. I mean, these are all handmade colors from a small brand in San Francisco. So we'll see if, you know, they're good enough to even mix with each other, or you kind of have to use as is. A lot of times I just use the colors as is with watercolors anyways and don't do a whole lot of mixing. So this might work very well for me. I don't know. Plus, like I said, that green palette was just so adorable. All right, I'm gonna try to pre-wet them because they look, I see what some of the reviews were saying. They look dry and thirsty, some of these colors. So they might really need a whole lot of pre-wetting to work properly. It remains to be seen. Let's see, I don't know, it's activating. That's a nice yellow. Ooh, I better not touch those lines from the fountain pen. It's not waterproof at all. That's just a regular cartridge that comes with it. Blue Ridge Yellow Ochre. I think I did try to add some neutrals to have more of a mixing range. That's actually a nice yellow ochre. So that's kind of like a cooler yellow, and this would be like more on the warmer side. Let's try this buff titanium type color. Yeah, so the pre-wet already like kind of dried up on some of them, but they're activating okay for me. I like that color. See, it's not buff titanium. It's got like a warmer tinge to it. It's called CFM Sand. I'm liking that. Okay, so far so good. We shall see. Ooh, this one looks like it's going to be really rich. Black Currant Red Lake. Oh, that's super opaque. Oh my gosh, but that's really strong and pretty. I like that one too. I try to pick strong colors too because that's kind of what I tend to like. Let's try this red. I think it's just called primary red. Oh, that's really pretty. And I think they said this one is kind of like a very middle red. So we can go lean cool or lean warm. It's just very in the middle. And I can kind of see that. pinky type color, pinky purple. What is this? Ultramarine pink. Now, I knew ultramarine pink would not be strong. I have ultramarine pink in other brands, and it is always a rather weak color. But I did want something pretty and granulating. And this one's actually on the stronger side. Oh, the other thing, Case for Making adds fluorescence to a lot of their colors, and I try to stay away from that completely because even though fluorescents are really pretty, they're not light fast at all, and I didn't want to have to like worry about that too much. Let's try this pretty color. So I just stayed away from anything that mentioned that it had fluorescent in it, and they did do a good job about mentioning if something had fluorescent in it. This is really pretty too, CFM Smoke. It's like a purplish opaque. It is opaque, purplish gray. This looks like it's going to be a nice brown. Oh, this one's very opaque too. So this one's more of a red, and this one's definitely a brown. What is this? Blue Ridge Violet Hematite. Oh yeah, they had like some interesting colors. They had like lake colors, which are done differently than regular colors. Cerulean. That's really pretty, actually. I don't know, you guys. I gotta say, I'm actually liking these. I'm actually really liking these. Yay. I mean, they're not cheap. I was concerned when I was buying them because the reviews were mixed that there might be an issue. So I'm very relieved and happy that I like these. Okay, so this is like a cool blue and I have a nice warm blue. So that worked out because when I first opened them, they looked the same and I was worried about that. CFM Jade. That looked really pretty online. And they're all activating really nice and quick. I mean, and there were a lot of good reviews online too. There are a lot of people who love these paints. So that's why I was like curious enough to take the plunge and try them out. That cute little palette sort of sold me on it because not only am I getting some really fun new colors that I don't maybe have otherwise, but I'm also getting that super adorable palette. Like it just makes it so much more fun too. Ooh, this one's really activating nicely. CFM Olive. Yeah, that's like a nice, very different green from that. Two beautiful greens. I just love green, so even though I don't need two greens theoretically, I went ahead and got two greens. So what do you guys think? I think I did a good job picking out a nice variety of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to decide later how I'm going to arrange them because once I make that little card for the palette, then that's going to be it. I wonder how they mix. This is mixed media paper, but it is cotton. I'm just curious to see whether I can actually mix anything with these. And I'm not pre-mixing, I'm just going to mix right on the page. Let's do something basic. Yeah, I can see what they're saying. See, it comes out a little bit muddy. It doesn't mix very well. But I think the reason for that is that this yellow, creates muddy mixes because it is a rather opaque yellow. So even though it's like really nice on its own, because it's zircon, it's known to be opaque and not the best for mixing. So I knew that going into it, but I got it because I like the color. It does create a nice warm orange though, but you can kind of tell it's like a cloudy feel to it. Not that I need to mix greens at this point because I already got two greens. But let's do a nice green with, yeah. So it creates a pretty color, but again, a little cloudy, and that's the yellow's fault. But the other yellows they had all had fluorescence in them, so I did not actually want to get them. Let's mix a purple. Let's do this. To me, this leans a little bit to the cooler side, which is good because that's better for mixing. I need a little bit more blue. Okay, yep, that's a very warm purple because I guess I had more red Let's see if I add more blue, if I get a different purple. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that works. The purple worked. Okay, we did purple, orange, green. What else do we want to mix? Let's try this warm blue with a yellow ochre and see if we can get a nice gray. Actually, once they dry, they look really nice. So I can see how what the people who were complaining about, but at the same time, I like the colors I got and I like this palette. This is Lavender Blue Lake. So this is a lake color. So it's like there's some kind of different process to it. Yeah, that's nice. That makes a nice gray. Look, that's perfect. It's very gray. I don't know if I want to mix anything else with that yellow because I feel like we already know what to expect from it. Let's try to see if these are different enough and if we can like make them more transparent. Okay, that's nice. This is the Black Currant Red Lake, and then this was the one that kind of looked similar, Blue Ridge Violet Hematite. Super opaque. But, okay, yeah, see, they're definitely very different colors. And let me try another one that looks in mass tone, super opaque. It was this CFM Smoke. Let me see what it is, diluted. Yeah, so I think if you dilute them enough, they will be transparent. Oh, I guess I should have drawn a line and done the whole thing for you guys. If you want more of a proper review on either the beam paints, and I can show you my other palette with the beam paints, or more of a proper review on the CFM just on its own, let me know. I can do a separate video for that because this is more so of like an unboxing and first impressions video. I'm not doing anything too taxing today since it's my birthday and I'm just doing the fun stuff today. So like trying out all the pretty colors and all that. And look at this. Can you guys see that? Look at that. That's the one that doesn't even look glittery in the palette. These are the 3 glittery colors. They're so pretty. I don't usually get glittery colors, but this one already came with it, so that was whatever. But then this one and this one just looked so gorgeous that I went ahead and got them because they're so beautiful. And then these ones turned out to be just as granulating as I was expecting, and I'm very, very happy with them. They're absolutely beautiful. I can just imagine doing a painting with like trees or hills and just filling the whole like spot in with just this color and letting it do its own thing and just kind of doing like a flat lay of it and letting it granulate and create its own effects without me even having to help it along. Oh my gosh, look at that. The gray ultra looks a lot like CFM Smoke. This one's slightly more purple and this one's more bluish. These are so cute and pretty. Oh my gosh. I actually kind of love this. Look at this. I love the green. It's so nice. Okay. I might go figure out the arrangement for these and then come back and show you guys. Okay, I'm going to try out this setup and see how I like it. This one is separating into like blues and purples, and then this one's granulating really nicely. This one, you would think it's maybe granulation, but it might be some scaling, like somebody was talking about like some paints having some scaling. This one has nice granulation and this one has nice separation, and the colors are pretty. Okay, let's see how this arrangement works. I think this arrangement looks prettier in the palette maybe. Kind of like these nice warm colors up here. And then the blues and greens all in one line together. I didn't have to do all this with beam paints because they're not going in a palette. This is one option. And this is the other option. Yeah, I like this one. I think I'm gonna go with this. So let's see how we're gonna do this. One work? Yeah, that worked. For some of the colors, I'm going to try to have a gradient, but wait, I don't think we need a gradient for all of them. And I'm going to laminate this card. By laminate, I mean just put some packing tape over it so that it doesn't get ruined by water or paint. See, this card's cute. It's like embossed. It's got like raised lines. Again, this color is a bit weak. It's just the nature of the pigment. And even though this is a cute little travel palette, I don't think I would take it traveling because I would be afraid to have it get lost. But it is a nice size to use on the couch. I'll be getting some use out of it. And I'm happy to add just new paint, like a completely new brand to my collection with some interesting colors because they're handmade. I don't know that I would use this paint for anything that I would sell because I'm not 100% sure of all the pigments. So I'm not 100% sure of all the light fastness ratings for all this stuff. It probably isn't the best for that. These are going to be great for sketchbook stuff or stuff that I would scan in, maybe make prints or use for illustrations or whatever. So it's fine for that kind of thing. I just don't know that I would sell originals of anything I make with this. As much as I try to pick out paints that would be light fast, avoided fluorescence and all this stuff, and try to get ones that did have pigments listed and made sure the pigments were light fast. I'm not 100% sure of all this stuff. Although I guess you're never 100% sure of anything. Or like a lot of Daniel Smith paints that proclaimed or claimed to be light fast that people discovered were not necessarily as light fast as we were led to believe. So there are no guarantees with all this stuff, but just doing the best we can to the best of our abilities. Neutrals in this row. Even though the custom blends didn't include pigments, so it was more risky, I also wanted to get some custom blends so that the palette would be unique and different from all my other palettes. Because otherwise, if I was just getting completely basic pigments and colors, there wouldn't have been like a whole lot of point because I would have already had those in my collection. Whereas some of these, custom blends are unique to case for making and I will not already have them. So that's how they look. They dry and then they're all still remaining pretty pigmented. That's interesting. This one is very like purpley light, and then so I guess in mass stone it's just a much like bluer color, and then when you dilute it it's very purpley. I mean, it is called Lavender Lake, so hey, just a quick insert. This is a bit later. I did do the card. I ended up trimming on all four edges because it was pretty much exactly the size. And then I trimmed the corners and I have sort of laminated it with packing tape and now it fits in perfectly. So I think it looks super cute. That's that. And then the other thing I wanted to try was these paintbrushes. Let's try this one because it granulates, so I want to see and compare directly with this paintbrush that I have from AliExpress, but it's really nice. I think it's squirrel hair. It's like a fake black velvet type of thing. Yeah, see, because it's pointy, you can get finer lines. So let's see how this one works. Because for like my latest paintings, I've been using this one a lot. Yeah, it's hard to beat the squirrel brush. It is so soft, but it does retain its shape even though it's so soft. There is a slightly different feeling, but this brush is very nice. And I didn't really have any good flat brushes before, so that works well too. That's why I wanted to use this color. So you can see some granulation setting in even though it's not even dry yet. Actually, this Blue Ridge Violet Hematite and Blue Ridge Yellow Ochre are very nice, and I believe they're single pigment colors. You can even see granulation in this tiny sample. This Mars Violet that also granulates beautifully actually reminds me a lot of this one. And these 16 fit so nicely in here. I think there's a good chance I'm just going to keep them in here because I do have some wood boxes I was considering for them. I couldn't really fully plan it out because I didn't know how big they would be and how much space they would take up. But I have some stuff I was eyeballing to put them in, but they fit so nicely in here and it's so cute. I might just keep them in here, to be honest with you guys. They sell this huge palette of, I don't know, like all their colors. It's really expensive. It's a few $100s. They also put it in a painter's tray, like in a butcher's tray, just like the regular size one, and it's all filled up with these. So maybe I can have like a tiny little mini version of their butcher's tray. Just I'm not going to be buying any more of them. I think this is a good enough set and it's going to serve the purposes I bought it for. This one, and that's this one. I think it just looks really nice in here actually, the way I arranged it with the blues and greens right there and then the neutrals and then the brighter warm colors up here. It looks really nice. I think next I'm gonna make a video with my planner stuff because this was my little birthday splurge. I love all the stuff I got. Let me know what you guys think. You'll be seeing more of all these in my future painting tutorials and videos. If you're new to my channel, then please check out my previous videos. I have a lot of tutorials and I have a lot of past hauls as well. I love doing art hauls because, first of all, I think it's when you get something nice and new, you always want to share with a friend. I just don't have any real life friends to share this with because as much as my family and friends are happy for me because I'm happy, they don't get it and they couldn't care less, and none of this, you know, is something they really care about other than the fact that it makes me happy. So then I want to share with you guys because you guys actually get it. And then also I love hauls because I love watching hauls and seeing, you know, are there, you know, interesting products out there that I hadn't considered? Are there products to watch out for? And I think hauls are just a very useful way to do that because you know what to look out for. You know, maybe you find something that that works really well for you that you wouldn't have found otherwise. So anyway, so I just like sharing hauls. I think they're fun. They're fun to make. They're fun to watch. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I'll see you in my next one. Thanks. Bye.